Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Elise, but you might know me as Stamprgrl, and welcome to the summer series. This is our summer project series, and I am working with the craft roulette number 273, and we are going to theater camp. Okay, so when we were looking at images during my live, so I have a live at 8 p.m. Central every Friday to create my craft roulette card. And when they said lady, I was thinking of a different stamp set than Pam, my fabulous sister Pam. She told me, oh, why don't you do a profile of a woman? And then that, for some idea, made my head start spinning and thinking of vintage and Victorian era. So I went looking for a stamp. I actually did not find it, but I found this shoe. When I bought this shoe, it is a wood-mounted stamp that I removed the wood and just left it unmounted. And I fell in love with this stamp. It is, look at that. Look at the detail on that stamp. It is gorgeous. It is the most gorgeous shoe, and it is the most uncomfortable looking pinching your toes shoes too. But for some reason, one of the parameters was a lady's card, and I immediately thought of this. I brought it in, we stamped it to show it, but the crowd was not happy with the shoe. They were like, no, you can't use that. How are you going to do camp? And then suddenly somebody said theater camp. And I'm like, I am still going to use it. But we ended up not using it in the live. We did stamp it and we had a lot of fun. And if you want to see the cards that we created, because we created 2 cards in the live, I will leave you a link so you can click and check it out. But after we finished the live, I kept thinking of this card. I could not go to sleep without making this card. So here we are. I know Kristen mentioned that we could go with, because the other parameter with colors was a candy wrapper. And then she mentioned peppermint patties, which we love in this household. We love as a family too. They're delicious. By the way, if you have never tried a peppermint patty frozen, please do yourself a favor and do it. Okay, so we're going with peppermint patty. Camp, which was the camper camping. It's going to be our theater camp. And then the last parameter was to have a belt. And you'll see what I decided to go with at the end for this. So I have created a very thin mat in silver for the card to bring the peppermint patty look and feel. And we are putting it into, it is not quite a navy. It's like a very old vintage blue. And in the video, it looks a little bit more harsh, the combo between the stamp image, but in reality, it just really flows really nicely. Here I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do for the next steps. And I decide that I'm going to make this like belt buckle. Let's call it a belt buckle, okay? And I'm using this die cut. I can't remember where I got this one from. I apologize. But it was, I think it might be Stampin' Up. So if you Stampin' Up fanatics, no, please let me know the info on this die cut, because I rearranged all my die cuts, and this one I put it up without any information into the door on one of my cabinets. So it just does this really nice like tag, like label. We're gonna call it a belt buckle, okay? And then it has these teeny tiny little die cuts that they cut slits, okay? And I apologize because you're not going to be able to see it here in camera, because I thought I was in camera, but I was not. But what you do is that you put these two little pieces wherever is it that you want the slits to be. And then you take them and then you pass them through your machine and you get these little slits to put ribbon through it. And I'm like, hello, hallelujah. This is my buckle, okay? Hopefully I show you. I can't tell you that it's going to be in camera. So I apologize for that. It's been a while since I haven't been in camera. But I wanted to grab this close in, and I guess it's too closed in. Okay, so here they are, and we are going to go through them, and I'll show you how it looks. And it does leave an indentation because it is it's a piece of die cut. You know, it's a piece of metal that you're pressing to so next time I think I'm gonna, instead of passing the whole see the entire label in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna do like a partial, so I'm not putting pressure onto the piece that it's leaving the mark behind. But we'll try, you know, trying things like this is how we get better. And here is our buckle, and it kind of reminded me of those Victorian era buckles. And I decided I'm like, I have two options for my ribbon, and I really like this checkerboard, but it's not fancy enough for that shoe, right? And I was like, oh, I don't think I like it. Like, it's more country versus, you know, Victorian era. Like, here we are. So I decided to go to this grosgrain ribbon in a chocolate. And I was like, and then I remember, well, the peppermint patties are chocolate. So I'm like, oh, we're perfect. Even though it's not part of the wrapper, we are here and we're going to go with this. And it looks fabulous. It looks fabulous. It looks elegant. The grosgrain ribbon is perfect. It reminds me of the shoes on that era so much. So I am super happy about this. I'm going to put a little bit of tape all in the back of this. And then, unfortunately, I forgot to record this part, but I am going to be using a hot off the press stamp that has the word dream, and then I will heat emboss it. So I'm going to use my little tool to get all the static out. Then I will stamp it in Versamark ink, and I am going to heat emboss it with some black gold embossing powder. And here what I'm using is, I'm using my glass mat to make sure that I'm putting that label right smack in the middle. And this was a great idea because the shoe was kind of like, the shoe is a little bit to one side, but it's perfect. It is just a good idea to use the tools that you already have at your disposal, and they're right there, like my mat, to help our lives easier. I wanted to let you know that, again, I go live on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central after, just to start doing my craft roulette card. And I also go live on Mondays at 3:30 Central, just for fun. So our Fridays are the check-in, and I'm trying to add one more live during the week. So we'll see. Lots of things happening this upcoming month for July. So make sure that you check out for my birthday in our 1000 celebration. So here's the stamp. If you like my content, please make sure that you like and subscribe. I love it when I have new subscribers. Let me know if you are looking for something that you haven't seen, or that you want someone to teach you. I will be more than gladly to give it a try, okay? And remember, don't leave your crafting for tomorrow. Start today. Have a great day. Bye.